Toyota just trademarked what could be the 4Runner's little brother, the 4Walker? All jokes aside, the 4Active had just been filed for a trademark by Toyota North America. I'll see you guys on the other side, and let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. So this miniature 4Runner could be an exclusive vehicle for the American market, made by Americans. According to Motor One, they have a strong feeling, maybe it's the Force, the 4Walker Force. This vehicle could be the production version of the Toyota concept, the FTX4, FT4X. Their concept names always never resonate in my memory. So that debuted back in 2017, and this would be the first Toyota SUV made in the Mazda Toyota plant that's being built in Huntsville, Alabama. To get a good idea of the size of this vehicle, we're gonna look at the dimensions of the FT4X, which stands 63.9 inches tall, is 167.3 inches long, and has a wheelbase of 103.9 inches. So that puts it squarely in the competition of the things like the Nissan Rogue Sport, or maybe even the Nissan Kicks, the brand new upcoming, the 2021 Kia Seltos, and the Jeep Compass, which is probably no surprise. So what are my theories about this SUV? Definitely take it with a grain of salt, because I'm just basing this off of what I think could happen. So let's be a little 4Active and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Okay, let's go. Let's assume it slots between the CHR and the RAV4. We do know that it's going to be made in the Huntsville, Alabama plant alongside Mazda's. Actually, they're going to be on the exact same assembly line. That's pretty crazy. And this is 100% confirmation that it will be on the TNGA-C platform, which is shared with a couple other Toyota vehicles, the Prius, the CHR, the Corolla, and the Lexus UX, which I dearly love. Check out my review of that somewhere in the circle bubbly thing. So this confirms, on being that it's on the TNGA-C platform, it confirms that it's going to be a pretty small vehicle, but they can really maximize the space if they want to. They can make it very boxy. I mean, the 4X concept is pretty boxy. It looks pretty spacious as well. So my dream vision of this car would be a Scion XB first generation, because the second generation, no go. That's lifted a few inches and has all-wheel drive and would have a 6-speed manual. Well, we're not gonna get the manual here in the States, and no one else is gonna get the manual because this vehicle's only for the American market. But I'm just dreaming on a manual. What would we likely see on this vehicle for powertrains? Well, I would expect 2 powertrains for this little pint-sized off-roading vehicle. In typical Toyota fashion, you're probably going to see a 2-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder motor that we see in a few Toyota and Lexus vehicles. The UX200 front-wheel drive vehicle has this motor, and I believe the Corolla hatchback has this motor as well. It produces about 169 horsepower and should give this vehicle around 30 miles per gallon. And just like the Lexus UX, and I think this is gonna share the same powertrains, that's what I feel like. It would have also the hybrid setup, which would be the 2-liter dynamic force motor paired with a couple electric motors, one in the front, one in the back. Of course, all these models are going to have all-wheel drive as an option. I would expect the hybrid more than likely to be offered only in all-wheel drive, but if the new Highlander is anything to go by, you can get a front-wheel drive hybrid Highlander now, so it could be possible with this more budget-minded vehicle. And of course, you would be able to get a traditional 4x4 or all-wheel drive model, I should say, in just the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder option. Okay, so back to the hybrid. And the UX, it produces about 181 horsepower, but as they refine these systems, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to bump it closer to 200 horsepower. Wishful thinking. Again, look at the UX. The UX can get 40 miles per gallon. Now, I actually think the UX is underrated for its fuel economy. When I drive that thing in town, and if I drive it fairly conservatively, I get easily over 50 miles a gallon in that car, whereas it's only rated for about 40, 41 in town. So being that this vehicle is definitely going to be higher off the ground, higher ground clearance, a little bit less aerodynamic compared to the UX, I would expect it, let's say 40 miles per gallon, if they're able to give it some additional electrification power. Oh yeah, and this thing could also become equipped with a 1500 watt accessory plug-in outlet that we see in the Yaris. Not the American Yaris, the new redesigned Yaris for Europe and Asia. Why would they put this sort of auxiliary power in such a vehicle? Well, this vehicle is called 4Active, right? The whole premise of it is for people to go camping, enjoy the off-roads, good fuel economy, very, very good usability. And think of it as the modern day Honda Element. The Honda Element had all sorts of flexibility, crazy forward thinking when it came to camping with your vehicle, as well as an outdoor lifestyle. This is carrying the torch for that sort of lifestyle slash people or family that have a very nomadic and free lifestyle where they go camping, do a lot of traveling, and just live out of their car from time to time. So this 1500 watt auxiliary power would be super, super cool to see if they can share it from the Yaris. Now wait, Kurt, wait. This is potentially a Mazda vehicle as well. Well, it's a little bit of both. And I know what you might be thinking, like, what if they use SkyActiv technology? They absolutely have the ability to use SkyActiv motors in this Toyota 4Active thing. But if you guys want to speculate on that SkyActiv technology that could be put in this vehicle, definitely zoom, see what I did there, down to the comments below. But what does this spell for the CHR here in America? Well, the CHR does not sell well here to begin with, and there's a couple of reasons for it. One, it's super small. Two, it's not that cheap for how small it is, a part of it because it's made in Japan. And three, it doesn't have a hybrid or all-wheel drive option, so it's essentially an antiquated, unuseful vehicle in my opinion. I kind of like the fun styling of it. I love that it's purely Toyota, purely Japanese, and how quirky it is, but the CHR is going to be essentially replaced by this vehicle. So sayonara, CHR. So what will the 4Walker cost? I mean, the 4Active, what is this thing gonna cost? The cost of it, like I said, could be anywhere from the upper teens, low 20s, all the way up to the mid 30s, just depending on how much power and luxury they want to put in this vehicle. But the one good thing that will keep costs down is that it's made in America, in Alabama, by Americans, so costs will be fairly low. Now why would a product being made in America be cheap when everyone's pushing their businesses overseas? Well, shipping overseas is really expensive, especially when you're talking about vehicles. So I would not be surprised if they're able to save quite a bit of money, and they get to split the cost with Mazda. So they can save money in shipping costs. They don't have to use their assembly lines over in Japan. So that might free up the cost of other things, make other things cheaper that they put in their vehicles here. It's not going to be as cheap maybe as making it in Mexico, but man, I love the fact that Toyota keeps investing in their plants here in America, and your big three, your Dodge, Ford, Chevy, they're not doing that. When will this vehicle be hitting the showroom floors? Well, according to AL.com, it's an Alabama website. Why? Well, because this plant is going to be in Alabama where they make this vehicle. It could be as soon as April of 2021. As a 2022 model, I would be expecting. So really exciting. It could be happening in just over a year from now. With that being said, how accurate do you think my predictions will be on this vehicle? The 4Active might not even ever come to existence, but we know there is an SUV coming from that Alabama plant that is a fusion with Mazda. And I think it's safe to say that it's going to be a small crossover. So I'll definitely see you in the comments below. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on this 4Walker, 4Runner, baby 4Active thing. I still like 4Walker the best. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more Toyota and Lexus content. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters, and I will catch you guys in the next video. And until next time, peace out.